Hola todos, bienvenidos a mi estudio de arte. En este episodio de hoy, I got a lot to talk about. Yeah, I could probably clean up in here a little bit. I should have cleaned up before I started, so forgive me for all the racket that I'm going to create while cleaning up, just moving things around. This last week, we had said flower boy, Christian Von Dion, come through the studio for a little studio visit to hang out, and he was very receptive and was like, yo, yeah, I'm down to record a conversation, which kind of was a little bit of magic, to be honest. And believe it or not, that was the first time we actually had like a full-blown kind of longer conversation. We actually just met in like the last month, within the last month. And yeah, man, me and dude just connected, and definitely things worked out the way they're supposed to. So that was super cool to have another artist come through the studio and just kind of like vibe, check things out. But I want to talk about some things that were like sparked by our conversation. As well, I got to get to work on these two. I kind of like rolled out the backgrounds, and I tried to move the camera back a little bit to get a wider view. At least when I do like reels, the reel isn't like going to be just this. It's going to be hopefully like half the piece each. And yeah, I'm doing that because we're going to do a little chalk work today. And a little chalk work. So that'll be fun. We're going to do that. But yeah, the Rambling Residency, episode number 2. Just rambling. As I said, my conversation with Christian went really, really well, and definitely there was a lot of things that were sparked in that conversation, that things I needed to hear, things that I needed bounced off of me, and I'm just super, super glad that we had the opportunity to do that, because you don't get that with yourself unless you like journal a lot. And even then, sometimes you just need to hear something come out of somebody else's mouth before you kind of get it differently. And yeah, so the very beginning, Christian came in and was like checking everything out, and he's like, bro, this is so sick, blah, blah, blah. And then at the beginning of the episode, like, I have to ask him this question again, because he starts like kind of just going in, and I'm like, hold on, bro, hold on. Let's get this thing recording. But he asked me this question about inventory, and what you can't see in the camera is the rest of the studio here. But off to my left over there, and even like above you to the left, so up against the rest of the studio wall over here, I've got like just paintings leaned up. I got some on my work table over here. I got a few unframed canvas that's like getting ready to get worked on. Those are all in different rolls laid out on some carpet. And then, as I said, right up here above you is like a hanging, it's like a hanging thing I built that has canvases stacked up in that too. So I've got a lot of inventory just sitting in here, essentially doing nothing, but just kind of taking up space. And Christian started to ask me, like, bro, like, how do you feel about inventory? Like, does that bother you? Like, what are you doing with it? What are your thoughts on it? Blah, 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 right? But he said, like, do you, like, I don't know what your goals are. What do you plan to do with it? Do you want to sell them? He's like, you could sell every one of them. You could sell them at whatever price you want. Like, what's your vision and what's your goals? And I said, bro, I ain't got no goals. Like, that's not where I'm at right now. I don't want any goals at all. And so, having sat on that, I just made a reel today and put it out about the vision and goals. And it's like, okay, well, do I have goals? Do I have a vision? Because at the end of the day, I guess to humble myself a little bit, I think I'm being a stubborn turd because, God says it in his Bible. He's like, hey, man, where there's no goals, the people perish. So, there's no vision, the people perish. So, like, obviously, we're meant to have vision. We're meant to have goals. And I currently don't. I don't want them. So I think maybe, like I just said, to a degree, for lack of better words, I think I'm being a turd. And I need to not be a turd. So I appreciate the challenge. I appreciate Christian just being open, being vocal, like just being himself, talking, being inquisitive, just picking my brain, seeing what I think, how I operate, blah, 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 all that. But it really did get me thinking, and obviously I've had to work through the most pessimistic and negative thoughts because kind of that's where I'm at right now. I don't have the best mindset I probably could have. And so, yeah, I had to work through all that, which is just, it is what it is. But after I got through that, I really started to kind of settle into like, well, you do make artwork. Like, what's it for? Like, why are you making art? And the simple answer of why I'm making art, like I said in the interview with Christian, the studio session interview with Christian, like God told me to, like flat out. This year, 2026, coming back into the year, God made it very clear, it's time to make art again. It's time to produce art. I only got 2 commands this year from God. And it was like very clear. You need to make art again. You need to create art again. And you need to start running again. And so both of those things I am actually doing. I am very, very active right now in producing art. Like getting in the practice of just creating something every day. Whether it's drawing, like I've been sharing drawings, just having space in the studio where I'm creating paintings, even if they're not my atypical, my namesake typographic abstraction style, like I'm just producing stuff. Super abstract expressionism joints, kind of like that guy right there that I posted. Definitely not like any graffiti in there. No typographic abstraction, just purely abstract flow work for the sake of having fun and flowing and creating. Seeing what pops up that's kind of cool. Got a really sick muted joint over there that I'm not ready to show anybody because I think I'm actually going to put that in a collection and release that as a larger collection because I really like that one. Even a bigger one over here. So I'm just, again, being present, being present, holding space for creating art, free-flowing, and just genuinely pulling on that thread to see what pops up next. But with that said, the answer, why are we creating art? Well, God told me to. But in the past, I had different goals. Yeah, I had some different goals. I was trying to kind of like push more of a heavily business focused, business foundation, building a business empire, a business art, business empire, whatever that is. Just trying to make this a little more official in a business sense. And that's good. I think that endeavor is good. I think that turning your art or monetizing your art, turning it into a business, I do think that's a worthwhile endeavor. And a lot of people are super successful at it. And that's super encouraging to me. I love to see that. But at the same time, that is straight up exhausting to me. Like I am one of those atypical artists where I literally just want to create and not do all the other stuff, man. I don't want to. I don't want to. This is the thing I'm the best at. This is the thing I'm really, really good at. I have zero interest in like going to sales seminars and like doing any freaking coaching anymore. Like that shit is exhausting to me, and managing anything is just, I cannot stand it for the life of me. And I get it. I got to kind of have to buck up and do that if I want to have some type of successful business in art or whatever. I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling here. But I do want people to know, if we're going to keep this simple, I do want people to know that my art is available. Yeah, it's stacked up over here. It's just like I just have excess inventory everywhere. But I do sell artwork. I am in the business of being in the market and exchanging art. I enjoy doing private sales. That's probably the thing I enjoy the most. Is not so much going out trying to be all salesy and, do all that. I enjoy like being with people, and I enjoy co-laboring, being collaborative with people. I super enjoy that. And yeah, I want to do more of that. I really enjoy that. I want to do more of that, and I want to incorporate it into this art thing more. So if that comes via sales, where people are connecting with me to just simply transact a painting, ideally, I want to make I want to make that interaction extremely valuable in the way. I want to make it extremely valuable in the sense that, like, when I used to do graffiti, much of the time when we would find a cool wall spot or like a unique place, or even on rail cars, like we would study the rail car itself. Like, what was the shape of the rail car? Was it a small box car? Was it a large reefer? Was it an auto rack that's like, just massive? Is it a short little hopper? Are they like unique ridged hoppers? Like, what's the kind of car? And then what is the branding? What's the color of the car? And then can we put that graffiti on the car in a way that's harmonious to the architecture of the car or the architecture of the spot? And then can we make the color scheme symbiotic in relationship to that environment? So like if it's a rail car, it's just going to be simply the color of the rail car and the architecture of the rail car. Or if it's a spot, it can be the architecture of a spot, whatever the wall is, and then the environment around it. Is it wooded? Is it desert? Whatever. We can make it live in symbiotic harmony to the in relationship to its environment. And that's what I want for my art. I want my art, if it goes into a space, to elevate the space, create energy, and expand life in the space. I don't want it to be something that conflicts with the space, brings energy out of the space. I want it to give life. I want it to be life-giving. So that's always been a goal of mine. And if we're going to get into private sales, that's the most enjoyable part for me. And I want that to be the most enjoyable part for the collector, the client, whoever is in exchange with that service. I want to provide that kind of service because I truly, genuinely care about their life and their environment, as well as the art, as well as everything. It's got to be mutually beneficial to the highest degree of excellence and elevation that it possibly can. And I find that to just be so freaking cool, and I just want to do that more and more and more. So there's that. That's private sales. And that's my basic offer. That's just the one-on-one acquisition sales. Part two, I have an offer. I have a service that I call the estate commission. And the estate commission is cool. It's much more in depth. It is a full-on commission style offer. It's a commission style service where you and I and you, I and the client, I and the collector, it is a full-on collaborative process where you are engaged. The collector, the client, is as engaged as they want to be. 100% engaged. And I mean, that's across the board. Like, we are doing the entire consulting and collaborative design process, everything from the ground up. All the design aesthetics, color palettes, compositions and structure, architecture, platform, as far as whatever the platform is that we're doing it on, content, story. We're producing all of this from the ground up, going all the way into the actual painting. Like, do you want to paint the darn thing with me? Do you want to be like, do you want to have engagement in the process? Like, it's a full-on collaborative process that you're engaged in. This is your piece of artwork as much as it is something that is coming to and through me out of my hands into this world. Like God's helping it come to life through my hands. And so like you're a part of that too. And that's really fun as well. And that's like the high collaborative service that I provide. So those two things are the most basic, fundamental things as far as like sales and offers would go, and that's what I guess I don't talk enough about. But those are the things that I want to do. I've simplified them down to that because I want to do them. And I guess I've just done a really poor job of telling people. I guess that's just done a really poor job of telling people. And that's probably why, sales are going to be inconsistent. So there's my 2 offers. Oh, this is funky. This is going to be funky. Yeah, so those are the 2 main offers, and what do I want to do beyond that? Like, what do I want to do beyond that? Art nowadays is so, goodness, art is so broad, so general in nature. Like, art is literally anything. And so it's kind of one of those things where you're niche specific. Like there's a lot of artists are very specific, niche specific. I know guys that just paint murals. That's it. I know guys that, not guys, but like artists that only do public works. That's it. Like they just do public works. They want to participate in, there's others that just want to participate in galleries, like do the gallery route. And then, some that just sell. So there's so many, so many options to life, and then also so many options to art. So it's like, what do you want to do, man? For me, one of the goals, goals that I had, and it's not like I focus on it and I think about it all the time, it's just something that keeps kind of popping up from time to time. Actually, I said it in a little interview in here with the Tacoma News Tribune. I was talking about, the same thing, like, what do you want to do? And I said, the only thing that kind of inspires me, like that kind of, like I really kind of have a drive to like, I want to do this. This would be really cool. It has a lot to do with the graffiti mindset, where in graffiti, like the game is to get your name up everywhere in different cities and different spots all around your city, everywhere, like on everything, right? Get your name everywhere. So it's like, you just want to be up in the outside world as much as possible. For me, with my art, I want to have ups on the insides. So like, I want to have big estate pieces, like large pieces, cool installations, probably as the years go on, like leverage all my experience in welding and fabrication over the last 20 years and start doing larger sculpture installations. But yeah, I want to do large estate pieces, sculptures, like just large installation pieces on the insides of like the coolest freaking institutions. maybe heritage sites, large, high-end, well-known hotels, hotel lobbies, restaurants, very prestigious restaurants. I think that's a worthwhile endeavor to make public spaces, the most beautiful and high-end and elegant public spaces, even more elevated and more beautiful. I think that's a worthwhile goal and endeavor, to shape and shift a little bit of the environment, the architecture, and the atmosphere of that place to just elevate it. So I think that's a worthwhile goal. Yeah. I don't have any freaking idea how to get there. You know, like, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I kind of know, like, you have to sort of find the right opportunities and apply to them and like, you know, get in this circle or whatever, but like, I just genuinely don't really understand and know how to do that from a business perspective, because I just try to focus on this. Just want to paint, man. Just want to paint and make cool stuff. And so for now, this is the goal, but those are all the things I actually do think about. I think about private sales, working with people. I am really, really good at one-on-one FaceTime with people. That's my bread and butter. I'm not gonna call you, do cold calls on the phone. That's just weird to me. There's a disconnect. If I talk to you in person, boom, there's energy, there's life, there's growth. And yeah, I wanna serve. I wanna do those things. Private acquisitions, consulting, and then, you know, estate commission pieces where we're collaborating, highly collaborating, creating together, sharing energy. And then, yeah, ups on the inside, man. I think that would be the dopest thing ever to do. And so I'm going to believe and just stretch my faith to, you know, see that life gets there. And my hope is that that God's, you know, just gonna show up in a way that's gonna bless that, and you know, we'll just see how that goes. Oh, that felt good. That felt good. That's like, so some of these cool shapes, these geometric shapes. So when I used to do graffiti, this would be probably tilted more this way, and you'd have a bar that would go like this and then wrap back down, and that would be the top part of the J. So it would be like this, and then the J would go like that. Bam. Bam. But that bar is a much more simplistic version of the top bar. And so, since we're here on the subject, I might as well go ahead and explain that too. So lately I've been dropping these drawings. Definitely going to keep doing those drawing videos, but this style, and I think it's kind of cool how it's working out on these two. This style, probably about a couple of years ago, I started experimenting with just pencil. Actually, it was Expo markers on a whiteboard, because I'm a fan of chisel markers, chisel Sharpies, chisel Expo markers. I love chisel stuff. And I would start drawing these geometric shape compositions. And the shapes themselves were shapes that you would find inside of graffiti letters. And so I was just extracting a shape of a letter. Instead of the whole letter, I would extract the shape out, move it around, and then I'd begin to stack different geometric shapes into these compositions that had a very fun, energetic feel, but also had kind of a mid-century modern vibe. It had more of like a little bit of a throwback feel. And so, yeah, that's kind of where we're finding ourselves now is I've just been doing them still, sketching them, but like I've never painted one and I've never done any color, any colored version of it. So I was actually sitting down the other day, and I thought, you know what, man, like this is so dumb. You've never actually colored one. Probably time to do that. And so, I grabbed I grabbed this bag of markers, like 100-pack markers or whatever that my kiddo has in there, and grabbed a big old fat chisel brush and some cardstock paper, and I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna color one, and I'm just gonna see what it looks like. And it came out fire, and I was like, okay, this is dope. I gotta try this again. Like, this is really cool. And yeah, I'm super pleased with it. And I think I actually got to paint one now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of trying to just come up with some cool compositions, man. I honestly don't know where this is gonna go, but like we're just winging it. We're just laying down some cool shapes, and yeah, man, just gonna figure out where this goes. Yeah. But this chalk is like probably the most fun thing to do here with all this is like just dropping chalk lines, man. This is like, this feels good to do. Yeah, this feels good. It stands off. It gives a good layer to like just start cutting in colors. This is going to be the move for sure. Now I just got to figure out what to do on this guy over here. Got a big old space over there. And so yeah, I hope this kind of makes a little bit of sense, at least where I'm going, what I'm thinking, and who knows, man, maybe this'll be something that, I don't know, sparks something for somebody else. I don't know, man. Tell me your thoughts. Like, I enjoy this process. I enjoy just rambling. I just enjoy getting things out. I think I process really well when I hear myself like over again. I'll listen to the podcast of this on Spotify and I'll like listen to me and I'll like continue to process and flush those things out. But I do genuinely want to hear from you guys too. I want to hear feedback. I need that engagement. And so if you have any thoughts, if you've got any ideas, if something resonates with you from any of this, if you like any of the offers that I shared, just to let you know that I'm actually in business and do this, and you want to explore that, go ahead, comment on one of these things, shoot me an email, jaredhavland1@gmail.com, or go to my website, jaredhavland.com, and just reach out to me. Say, hey man, I want to create something together. I want to work together. Like, let's make this happen. Or, hey, I saw this piece. I love this. I would love to, see about bringing that into my life. Like, just whatever. Just contact me, hit me up, engage, and yeah, let's collaborate and get creative together. I think that'll be, I know for me, it's so life-giving and one of the best experiences that I can kind of have in this life. So, yeah, I think we're good for today, for this session. I'm going to keep working on these geometric joints and kind of see what pops up from here. So for now, love you all, and we will see you on the next one.